Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group. Today's Friday, August 22, 2025. And I'm doing this late morning, so we've gotten the Powell news on his speech in Jackson Hole, and it was dovish, and he basically signaling that there's interest rate cuts coming, probably in September. And I'll just read you this one quote. I think it says it all, although it's bureaucratic speech, so it's not direct. With policy in restrictive territory, the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting our policy stance. So in other words, gonna have some rate cuts. And that's welcome news to the markets. Stocks have been taken off this morning after they were stronger overnight in the futures market, which to me means that some of this was leaked. And then after the announcement and the release of the speech, stocks really took off. So it's welcome news because it's been a weaker trend recently. Although I think it's interesting is that on the sell-off we've had for the past few days, it's been on lower volume, which means it really probably wasn't going to last. So I think, again, stocks now up. Looking forward to next week, it's all about Nvidia. So Nvidia's earnings are next week, and if we get through that without any big disappointment from them, probably the market's going to continue to rally into September and even beyond, perhaps. So it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be as explosive as today is, but it's. I would think that we're going to see higher prices as long as Nvidia doesn't cough up a hairball. Now this morning they did have a headline out there that there's some problems in selling the chips to China. So maybe that bears watching, and maybe that's a signal that there's going to be some news on their earnings that may be a little bit disappointing. But I still think it's kind of a setup that they're going to do well in terms of looking back at their earnings, and we'll see if there's any minor deceleration in growth rates or margins or something like that. But I think this sets the table for some more positive news and for higher stock prices and probably lower bond yields. So thank you for listening. Have a great weekend. Enjoy, and we'll be back on Monday. Goodbye.